Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to another Daily Dice, where we ask the dice for a message and find out what that is. If you're a returning viewer, subscriber, supporter, thank you so much for being here and sharing this time and space with me. I'm truly honored to be here with you. For those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience, that this is a safe space for you to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. So that being said, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out what is today's Daily Dice message in regards to love. Source, what is today's Daily Dice message in regards to love? What messages do you have for us? What would you like us to know? What is today's Daily Dice message in regards to love? Fourth house, Pisces, and Saturn. Okay, there's been a lot of challenges here. Feeling of guilt, shame, letdown, betrayal, hurt, brokenheartedness. You're the one that always put all the effort in. One-sided love. A lot of one-sided love. A lot of hard work. Also to heal. Right? We see that. We see that you've done a lot to heal that part of yourself. Like, I'm trying to listen to my intuition more. I'm trying to trust this process more. And it's like difficult because when you have been through so much in your life, when it revolves around love, your relationships, whether that's with your parents, with your siblings, with your friends, with past lovers, all that combined and compiled into one huge conglomerate of brokenheartedness. It's really difficult to ever see yourself as worthy of love. It's really difficult to see yourself as being capable of bringing in love. And they're showing here that you're someone that's an old soul. Like, you believe in a type of love that doesn't really exist in this now moment. And it's not that it doesn't exist, it's just that you haven't had an opportunity to connect with that, right? Like, it's there, but you're going through this massive healing right now, okay? And when it comes to love, when it comes to your family dynamics, when it comes to releasing those ideas of the toxic feminine and the toxic masculine energies and really leaning into this, I keep hearing equality for all. That's what I just heard. It was so loud. Equality for all. And it's like, I already hear some of you already like, no, not everyone deserves that. Not everyone deserves equality for all. And what they're saying is like this idea that no matter where a person is in their life and how they show up in your life, that they still deserve to be loved and to see love and to have love, even if it's not from you, right? It's not that you're not showing up in a space of love. You send them on with love. You're like, okay, this just isn't going to work for me. I never changed who I was. I didn't change the way that I showed up. I didn't change the way that I chose to be. I let them just continue on their own journey, even if it was a destructive path. That's what they're saying when they say equality for all. But it's very difficult for you to see this, or it has been difficult for you to see this from the past because of the heartbreak and the hurt and the betrayals that you've been through. And it's weighed heavily on your heart. And with Pisces energy, there are really, really high highs, and there are also equally very low lows. And depression is something that can come out with Pisces energy, very, very, very deep depression, okay? And so they're showing here, and they're acknowledging that that depression has kept you from seeing yourself in a space of love. And so they want you to keep healing. Not that you're not enough to receive that love, but you believe in a love that you haven't seen yet with your own eyes. You felt, right, with your connection to source, your connection to self-love, you felt that, but it's not something that you've seen with your eyes yet. And so they want you to remain in this space of showing up in a place of love for all. They want you to love everyone equally. But loving everyone equally, it's difficult because you have everyone saying like, oh, they don't deserve your love. They don't deserve your time. Everyone deserves your love, but not everyone deserves your energy. And those are very separate things. What that's saying is that everyone deserves your love, saying that you'll always be kind and compassionate. But not everyone deserves your energy saying, I'm not going to be a doormat for you to decipher what it is that my time is valuable for, or how I spend my time, right? And learning to separate those two will bring you into this place of always showing up in a very true place, right? A very loving, kind, generous place. And equally so, knowing when enough is enough and it's okay for me to walk away without holding grudges, without holding anger, just understanding that we just are on different paths and we're in very much very different vibrations, and that's okay. That's all right. Scorpio energy, intensity, exposing, purging, and renewing. Yeah. So this is what's changing for you, okay? You're beginning to see those energies exposed as they are, not in a bad way. It's like, okay, this is just not for me, and it's okay for me to draw back from that while still maintaining that love, right? Because ultimately our goal is to become the embodiment of unconditional love. That's what we are at our core. But in order to do that, we have to surrender with this mutable energy, surrender fluidity and welcoming change. We have to surrender our ego. It's saying, well, they're right and they're wrong and I'm right. And I deserve to be seen as right. No one is truly right or wrong, right? It's just different. And understanding that brings you into the space of truly having compassion for all. Saturn, feeling restricted, experiencing struggle, learning hard work and patience. And so love has been a very, very difficult journey for you because you hold people to a higher standard of love. And it's not that you shouldn't, right? You should never rest on your standards, right? Like if you want someone to be the same kind of loving person as you, don't just like give up on that. Like that's something that's very important. That standard is something that will help you out in the long run, but also understanding that there's going to be very few people that meet that, right? And that's okay. Forgiveness. I cannot make this up. Nothing is gained by holding on to past disappointments. So forgiveness is key here for you in love. And I know that that's very difficult for a lot of people, and that's okay. If you're not in a space to forgive right now, the message here is to continue healing, because the more you heal, the closer you come into alignment with forgiveness. And you know, one thing I ask a lot of people who understand forgiveness and understand that it's vital for our journey, I've asked, what's the one thing that you've gained from forgiving the person who hurt you the most? And the answer is always the same: freedom. I've asked countless people this question. I myself have experienced it too, so I already know the answer, but sometimes just coming from me, the tarot reader, it's like, oh, well, of course, that's you. Like, you're meant to do that because you have to tell the rest of us. And it's like, I have a lot of clients that I have talked to, that I've dealt with, that I have helped. And forgiveness is always one of those things. Like, when they come to a space of forgiveness, I always ask, what is the one thing that you've really learned from and taken away from forgiveness? And all the answers are the same: freedom. Freedom from what was, freedom from that hurt, freedom from that pain. So if the answer is the same for so many people, holding on to it is just causing more guilt, more pain, right? And I understand that maybe you're not in that space to forgive yet. That doesn't make you wrong. You're just in a different place right now, and that's okay. Can you honor that and continue on your path of healing, which we know is it's hard. It's not easy, right? But the path is simple. And look to your inner strength. You are so much stronger than you realize. You are capable of getting there. Look, and even this is number 11, 29. So we have 1111. This is a message directly from Source. Okay? This is a message directly from Source saying you are stronger than you realize. You have the strength to get there. You have the strength to give forgiveness. You have the strength to set yourself free, like so many have done. But look, if forgiveness was easy, and I've been saying this so much on both my podcasts and here, if forgiveness, if anything, right, was that easy, more people would do it. And I think it was Oprah who said, forgiveness isn't saying that we're giving that person the okay for what they did. She said, we're saying that there's nothing I can do to change that situation, so I forgive to set myself free from it. Okay? Games, playing at love but not serious about keeping it. Know what you want and be honest. And you've been dealing with a lot of people who've played games. Quit playing games with my heart, with my heart, with my heart. I should have known from the start. Right? Like Backstreet Boys coming in all crazy right now. But, right? Stop playing games with my heart. That's a standard for you, right? You don't want people in this flighty energy not knowing what they're going to do. You don't want to be in that anxious place. Love should never cause you anxiety. It's not meant to, right? Love is understanding. And that's why it's like when you're in this anxious place, you're not in a place of love. You're in a place of fear. And so they're asking you to let go of that fear and know that you are deserving of having the love that you desire. But forgiveness is key here. Whoa, okay. All these came out. So we'll take them. We have separation, sadness, bitterness, missing you, thinking about you, an uncertain future. This is that flighty energy that's coming in. So maybe you're in separation with someone, or you had to separate from someone. But look, we have clock, needing time, cycles, and takes time to heal. Progressing, right? With forgiveness here, you're moving beyond this, but it is taking time to get to a forgiveness place. I understand that. I've been down that road. Sometimes it's very hard to forgive because it's like what they did was so awful. But I know from my own experience that holding on to it only caused me pain, and it kept putting me in a space where I was reliving it over and over again. We have seduction, attraction, teasing, hookup, and date, third party, and temptation. This is that games. This is what's happened. That seduction card. Being tempted is what I hear. It's easy for us to get tempted when people are telling us what we want to hear, and we're falling for that because no one's ever loved us the way that we wanted to be loved. And so the minute that someone tells us what we want to hear, we're automatically in that place of like, oh my gosh, this person's just like me, because that's all the things that I would say too. And we have to remember that it's okay to keep someone at arm's distance while we find out who they truly are. But Source is saying here, you do have a soul connection, a partnership, and a life partner, a soul contract that's coming to you, okay? Someone who sees you and doesn't make you an option. Someone who's unconditional loving to you, giving and receiving fairness and love and affection returned, okay? You're not going to be dealing with this anymore, but the first things first in love, forgiveness is at the height of your reading. And so they want you to come into this place of healing enough so that you're ready to let go. And if you're not there yet, don't beat yourself up. Don't feel like it's wrong for you. Just say, I'm just not there yet, but I'll get there. And that's okay. Okay? Love yourself and be kind to yourself and show yourself grace and compassion. Okay? If you feel like this is your reading, leave a little cactus emoji down below and say, sometimes life is very prickly and it hurts, but it teaches me resilience, and I am resilient. Leave me a thumbs up. If you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links necessary to do so below in the description box. You can email me for personal reading and I'll get you out further information. You can follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio on Spotify, and you can also join as a member. And when you do click on that link, it'll show you the options that are available for memberships. I do hope to see you on memberships. If not, thank you for your continued support here. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides for coming together to give us this message. And until next time, stay human. Bye.